Alright, welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be going and talking about how you can find winning products for your branded dropshipping stores, unlike everyone else. You see everyone else just dropping videos and just taking fucking products from the homepage here, which doesn't work. So we're going to go to Calidata and we're going to find winning products for your branded dropshipping store. Now what everyone else is doing, Calidata is now the trenches of the trenches. Everyone is using it, but no one is using it right, or no one is using it as they are supposed to do. So what everyone is doing is, for example, they go to her Yerba Magic, whatever this is called, right? So let's copy this Yerba Magic and let's go to Facebook Ads Library. Let's go to United States. I'm going to show you how this is literally the trenches of the trenches. So if we search up Yerba Magic right here on Facebook Ads Library, only in USA, you'll find 510 ads. Now these are active ads, of course. Now if you put it off of active ads, inactive ads, so ads that have not worked, 2,200 ads online. You see here Bio Boost, you see here Organics Tea, you will see another one here probably in a bit if you scroll down, Harmony Brew, right? You see so many here, Vitaflow, Bloomberg Global, L'Oreal Store, like it's just so many, Shop Luneta, like shop. So many people are running the same exact product thinking it's gonna work for them. Now, this is exactly the reason why it doesn't work, because they just go into the same product with the same videos that everyone else is using. Now this is, for example, Shop Luneta. I can guarantee you here, for example, same woman probably uses well the same video as the rest. Now I can guarantee if you scroll here for quite some time, you'll find exactly the same videos being used by different people for the exact same product. Now what we want to do, we want to differentiate ourselves. Now the first thing we need to do, you need to stop looking at the first fucking pages, because there's no point in it. Now what we are going to do, how we're going to move about it and how we're going to go about it is, we have certain metrics that we're looking for when we're looking for products. Now we look at the revenue over the last 30 days. Now you can select a category, of course, if you want to. I'm just going to go off of no category so we can make any product work. Now what we need is a minimum of 200 to 300,000 US dollars in revenue. Now the reason for this is, if it doesn't have this, then there's no scalability in the product even for us. Now if it does have this, then we can of course differentiate ourselves, make it a bit better, and of course scale it. But if we're going to be looking for products at 500,000, like all these products, a lot of people are even taking. Here you see literally exactly the same product, like literally exactly the same product. Vibration plate, exercise, high power vibration plate, exactly the same product, right? Basically that is exactly what I'm saying the whole time. Like everyone is using the same things over and over again. Now I'm going to just keep scrolling a little bit until we reach that 270, 280, whatever mark. Like here, for example, this decent here. If we see the products we see here, we can look at these products. Now the most important thing when looking at products is not the product itself, but it is the market that we're going to be looking for. So this is very important. Now I share this, of course, this whole thing in a call with my students. I'm not going to be sharing every single thing, but I'm going to be just sharing these parts. When we're looking for a market, we're looking for a market that has a big problem or a big insecurity they're facing in their daily life. Now the reason being, if they're facing this in their daily life, they want to bring change into their life. So they are basically a dying market for a change. So they're basically ready to buy the product because it's such a big thing happening in their life. Hence also why it has to be something daily. Now these are the best things we can look for. Now they can basically have two ways that they're facing the pain from this. So basically they could be physical pain, right? That's one I usually go for. Joint pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, back pain. This is physical pain. And the other one is pain of being themselves, basically. So women, for example, have this insecurity, which is, for example, wrinkles. They have a pain in looking in the mirror, or they have a pain in going outside without having, without being able to have those wrinkles or having done their skincare routine, etc. So we can go into these markets and actually play upon them with our product. So besides that, we also need a big / specific niche. So there's two ways to go about it. Now, if you want to go very, very niche, you can, for example, sell something to carpenters, right? This is very big. Because if you go very, very niche, these people are dying to make a change. Now, carpenters probably will be having some type of knee pain. Now, you can provide them with, these knee pads they can sit on, or car mechanics. These knee pads you can sit on to just do something on your car, or just knee pads you can sit on to do your carpeting stuff, or you can solve their knee pain by like literally going in so deep into only carpenters, where you're only going to be selling to them. And the other one is going more common, for example, just selling to people with knee pain because of their weight, right? Or older people that have knee pain because they're old. It's like huge market. Now the carpenters one is a bit of a smaller market, of course, because there's not many carpenters that, you know, face the issue, that want to fix the issue, etc. But they are there, and if you go down that deep in there, you can make a big money out of that too. Another good example of this is, for example, here's.com. Now here's is basically what is this called? Basically a product that you put in your ear that is basically blocking the outside noise for people that are going to go raving or going to go to festivals, right? It's something very niche. It's not something common that the general person would buy. I would never buy this, for example. I don't really need it, right? Or other people that don't go to festivals or that don't do all these stuff, they wouldn't really buy it either, right? All these type of things. So their market, as you see, it's also on festivals, etc. Their market is very specific, very niche. This is the exact reason why they can sell such, let's say, small product, like the fucking, like literally a ball of a product for $42. Earplugs for $42, right? $45 this comes to around it. Now, when we're going to be looking here, I want you to keep those things in your mind, especially this first part. Now the first, I would say, 2 parts, right? With problem and insecurity that they're facing in their daily life, where they're facing or physical or emotional pain, right? And then that they're ready as a dying market, ready for change. So when we're going to be looking for it, now we see here post probiotic gummy. It doesn't really offer that much, to be honest. I don't see anything crazy here. Crocs, nothing special about it. Now this incline treadmill at home, this is playing upon, first of all, an insecurity that people are facing daily in their life in an emotional way, because they're just fat, right? They're overweight, they want to lose weight, but they don't have enough time to go to the gym, they don't have enough time to do this, to do that, etc. So they want to go and get a treadmill that is basically going to be at home. Now this is something I would personally go in for instead of these products. For example, this zeolite drops with B vitamins supports speech learning. Now that last part, supporting speech learning for kids, that is something I would go in for too. Reason being, it is a huge problem for parents that have kids that want their kids to be better, of course, and they're facing daily issues in their life, maybe getting bullied at school, maybe not being able to perform the best at school because they're genuinely, having problems with speech. They just can't talk. A lot of kids have this. I even know some kids that have it in my city here. So a lot of people would probably pay money to, get this fixed. So let's go with this, for example. Now I see also this, for example, Peach Perfect Inositol Multivitamin. Now this, for example, of course, it's also something you can go into, but there's already a lot of people doing it. Now this one, magnetic phone holder, sure, it is some problem, but it's not that big of a problem that we can attack. Now this, fully automatic curling stick, lazy curling tool, electric, blah, blah, blah. Now it's also something you can do, but it's also not a huge problem. And there's also a lot of big competitors like Dyson and Samsung, etc. And this clothing, it's not super big of an insecurity here. It does shape your body, which is an insecurity you can go into. Prefer to hover over the videos here over quickly. You could maybe go into this, but I would not recommend it. It doesn't appeal to me as such a big problem or an insecurity that people genuinely want to fix. Now this Revite shampoo for thinning hair. Now this is also something to go into. A lot of times what people sell is these oils that you have to add extra, etc. But not shampoo that you can basically continue using. Now out of all these 10-20 products that we've seen here, I don't know how many, this is probably by far the strongest one I would go to. And then this one would be maybe-ish. But this just looks out to me very strongly. Now, if we hover over the product pictures, you can see probably made with AI, nothing crazy. But most importantly, if we go to the videos, let's check the second video here. Parents of children. Exactly the problem. They just attack it straight away. If you have a child that's struggling with speech problems, and the way she's coming over is not really like I am, for example, like very loud and obnoxious. The way she's coming over is more like in a relatable way. Like if you have a child that's also suffering with speech problems, like it feels like the parents are being hurt. Now, of course, you want to sell this to the parents, so it's a bit different. You're not selling directly to the kid. Kid is 6-7 years old, bro. He's not gonna buy. You're selling it to the parents. So when you're selling it to the parents, you want to talk to the parents from that perspective of a parent on how they would react. So let's watch further. As simple as that. People are literally just missing out on vitamin D and vitamin B12. All they're doing is making that into a supplement and selling it in a way where it's going to be in a different angle, which I'm going to go into right now, where they're basically targeting kids with speech issues. Now, in this thing here, which I've gone in full length with my students, once again, once you have a product, once you have an existing problem or an existing product, you're just going to change the angle. What they're doing here is they're taking a product, they're not taking the same problem that everyone is having and then changing the product. For example, vitamin D. People are missing sunlight, right? This is the problem. You're lack of deficiency of vitamin D. This is the problem. This is the most problems that people have, right? Let me cook. Hold on. Let me cook. The problem people have usually is missing vitamin B12 or vitamin D. This is the problem. Now, you just change the product then, instead of them taking pills to taking gummies. Instead of taking gummies, you change it to a cream. Somehow that will help. Or you change it to some food or drink, right? You change the product, but it's exactly the same problem that you're still attacking, right? In a different way. Or you give them red light therapy, which gives the vitamin D and B12 somehow again. That is one part. Now, this is not what they're doing. What they're doing is exactly the opposite. They're taking this product that people are already using, basically vitamin D and vitamin B12, right? People use it. You can even search this up. There's tons of people selling vitamin D, vitamin B12, omega-3, or zinc, and the magnesium, shilajit, etc., etc. But these people are changing the angle on who they're selling to. So, an example, instead of selling this necklace to people that are to stop vaping, you sell it to people that are going to be reducing the anxiety. So you change the angle from people that are vaping to people that are having problems with anxiety. These motherfuckers, what they're doing is they're basically selling vitamin D. Instead of selling that to adults, they're selling it to kids that are having speech problems. And the main reason why you have speech problems is because of the deficiency of vitamin D and B12. Do you understand the whole idea with you have to be different? This is exactly what they're doing. This is textbook of a almost perfect product. Now, I don't of course know the rest of the funnel and stuff, so I'm not going to say perfect, but this is literally textbook of basically a perfect product. And then she's explaining the link between vitamin D and B12 and between how would you say the speech people that the kids have. And as you see here too, vitamin D and speech in children. Yes, there is a link between vitamin D and speech in children. Children born to mothers with low vitamin D levels during pregnancy are twice as likely to have language problems. So children probably have to get more vitamin D, so they're going to be having better speech. And you've been sneaking this stuff into your kids' juice. Now here they're mentioning, of course, more benefits and more features of the product, which is, for example, if I can do it, that they are using it for a week. He is having less temper tantrums. He's sleeping through the night and eating better. Now, these are also problems that people have, which is also angles you can be going on about, not from the product, but on your videos. So you can basically start your videos. I'm just gonna give the shittiest hooks, but I mean they're not shitty, but the simplest hooks. Is your kid having speech problems? This is the main angle, right? Then we can just slightly jump off from there. Is your kid having temper tantrums? This is another angle. This is another video hook that you can use. Literally just another video, and then you can just jump into the rest of the benefits, which is like it's improved speech and this and that. Now, is your kid having sleeping issues? Is your kid not eating well? Is your kid not listening well enough to you? Or is your kid having these random urges or random surges of getting mad at you or getting these anger, etc.? Then you can just jump into those hooks or those angles on the product with this exact same product. It's still the same solution. You're just changing your hook angles. Now, this is exactly what I mean with changing the angle of a hook, that we're going to be testing different angles, seeing which works the best. And then the difference between just changing the angle of a product. Now, as you see, vitamin D is the same product, not selling it to people, men or women above 30, 40 that are having it. Another angle that you can do, for example, for the vitamin D and B12 is for hair loss. Another angle that for women hair loss, for example. Another angle that you can do is for men, so it grows their testosterone, which is also proven to be. Vitamin D, with the help of cholesterol, does exceed your testosterone to higher levels. Now, these motherfuckers have used it to kids. Do you understand the genius behind it? This is the whole idea when we're trying to not look for products, let's say, but when we're trying to look for a market that we need to get into with a product. Now, again, this market is almost or basically perfect. It is very specific, not very niche, but it is quite niche that we can go into and make a lot of money with. This is, for example, a product that I would take for myself and sell. So when we're looking for these products, once again, we're not looking for the next thing, like the next crazy thing. It already exists. Most of it already exists, right? We're just trying to come up with an angle. We're just trying to come up with a market different than what these people are selling to. Or we're going to sell to the same market, same problem, but we're going to change up the product, right? So an example of changing up the product would be, for example, here you also see vitamin D gummies, like basically the same things that I was just talking about as before. Now, if we were to change the product, let me come up with it. Let me see. For example, here, collagen. Now, let's say we're still going to sell collagen, right? I'm just going to give you an example. If I search up here collagen, bro, the amount of fucking things you're going to see here is crazy. Now, you have here, this is powdered, I believe. Now, this is creatine. I don't know what the fuck that is there. This is in pill form. You probably have some gum here. You have strawberry and cream. It has collagen inside. In the fucking chocolate bar you have here, use formula in what is this called, in a tube as a cream that you can put on. Like, there's so many ways of the same exact product, just change it up as a product as what it is. Same exact problem that you're selling to people, but it just has a different product to it. So that is literally what I mean when I say that we're trying to change up our product or change up the angle to our product. We don't have to do anything crazy. So once again, to end the video off, you go to around 350 to 200,000, whatever, something along these lines, and then you start looking, or you start trying to see what kind of products you can find that are very unique with their market, that you can change something about, that you can be unique with something about, and then you can basically change the existing, or have the existing product, change the angle on it, and just flip it on them like these motherfuckers have done. Or you can basically take the exact same problem, like with speech. Let's say the problem is the speech for kids, right? And you just change the product. For example, that they're going to be having these books that they have to read out about every single day, which was also quite big some time ago, right? That is basically it. You just start looking for products in this way, and then what it comes down to is basically the market. Once again, it doesn't come down to the fucking product itself. It comes down to the market that we're selling to. Because these motherfuckers, the parents of these kids that are having speech impediments, like they can't speak too well, they are dying for their kid to speak better. So that is what we're looking for. Now, this is only the product aspect of it. We're not trying to look for anything else. Like, I'm not telling you guys to, I don't know, make the videos or go with the scale, just run the ads. I'm not saying anything along those lines in this video yet. There will be another video, but this is how we look for products. This is how we find products and take products for ourselves to use. That is basically it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you guys did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. And if you are struggling to find products, or if you're struggling to scale your products, make ads for your products, or struggling in any way with your dropshipping or branded dropshipping business, go book a call down below. Shoot me a DM on Instagram with e-commerce, blueprint, whatever you like. No keywords needed. Just shoot me a DM. Yo, bro, I'm struggling with this. We'll hop on a call. We'll see if I can help you with my coaching. And like my students, you can get the rest of this whole page where I explain more and deeply about how you can actually go about branded dropshipping. And yeah, so book a call below, message me on Instagram, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.